So it was great to spend a day off of the bike, just relaxing and spending some time with some fellow motorcyclists. Getting down to the Wheels Through Time Museum, even though I've been there before, it's still awesome to walk around, and getting to stop and chat with Andy a little bit about all of the bikes that they have there at the museum. Well, if you are there, I suggest that you go and find one of the bosuns there and really pick their brain about all of the bikes, because every single one of them has a story to tell. Like the last few days, the day when I headed out from Maggie Valley to Birmingham, Alabama, well, it was still another wet one. Now, I still found some great roads to ride, some beautiful scenery, but overall I was going in and out of rain all day long. And as I headed into the big city of Birmingham, Alabama, of course, I ran into a little traffic. But I guess that's to be expected. The reason I was stopping in Birmingham, Alabama is because I wanted to go to the Barber Vintage Motorsports Museum, a place that I had been previously but have always wanted to go back again. The Barber Museum has over 600 vintage motorcycles on display, and unlike the Wheels Through Time Museum, which specializes in unrestored motorcycles, the Barber Museum has pristine restorations on all of their motorcycles, and they present them, well, basically like works of art. Now, on this particular day, I was contacted by Kevin McKinney, who happens to live down in Birmingham, and Kevin is the host of the Throttled Podcast. So if you haven't listened to that podcast, I suggest you get on the internet and look it up. It's really fun to listen to, just a few guys hanging out talking about bikes. Kevin was nice enough to hang out with me for the day as we went through the museum. We got ourselves some dinner afterwards, and then I was able to, well, pick Kevin's brain just a little bit on his thoughts about motorcycling.
I've been doing it on and off for, 26 years or so. I actually started when I was 14. The legal age in Alabama to get certified and to get on the road is you can get your license. When I was growing up was 14 years old. And everybody in the neighborhood was starting to get little dirt bikes. And my dad just surprised me one day with a little Kawasaki 100. It was an Enduro model. So, dirt tires, but blinkers and lights and everything, which nobody else really had. On and off through college and early adulthood and up into the point where now it's an extremely important part of my life. It's part of my identity, really. Mm-hmm. But, it's just that stress relief to be one with nature. You don't get, there's no other activity that can give you the full breadth of nature than riding through the air, smelling the smells, and being able to see the different terrains as quickly as you can on a motorcycle. Some good, some bad.
Yeah,
there's the honeysuckle when it blooms, or ride by different kind of trees, or then you get those memories of when you were a kid, those wonderful memories of those kind of things rushing back and overwhelming you. You do get the circle of life smells, as I call them, from the side of the road from time to time, but that's just part of it. You get the good and the bad, and it really gives you time to think. A lot of people ride for different reasons, but that's my main reason to ride. So when I started riding, I wanted to find more about it and learn more about it, and I'm one of those, if I'm going to jump in, hold my drink, I'm full bore, I'm jumping in head first. So I started the podcast about a year into my resurgence into riding, and that was a chance for me to get more involved in the industry. I would read things and have an opinion about them, but I didn't know how to get my opinion out there. It was more of because I didn't have a lot of friends that rode. Validation of, are my opinions accurate? Where am I wrong at? Where do I need to be corrected at? And so it was a point of me getting plugged into the industry. Since doing that, I brought on co-hosts who have completely different ways of thinking about things. We live geographically in opposite corners of the country, and what it does is it opens all of our opinions and all of our impressions of what riding is like in the country as a whole. It gives us a lot of opportunity. And we've learned a lot from each other and everything that the podcast and the community has been great. I've gone to bike shows and events that I would have never done without the podcast involvement and being able to do that. So we've got great listeners on the show. We actually participate in something called the Motorcycle Podcasters Challenge. It actually just ended. And this was the first year that they kind of let the listeners contribute just as much or more than the host. Our listeners, we're just fantastic, wanting to win. We've won it twice in the last 4 years, and we won it last year. And our listeners came out just really ready to go and super supportive. If there's anything personal that ever happens to you, the overwhelming flood of encouragement that you get from people who normally don't write into the show, but just to say, hey man, we're with you, this happened, we understand if you don't put out a few shows for a little bit because of X. It's just a wonderful community, and that's just a motorcycle community in general. I don't think you get that with really any other community. It's just, as a stranger on the side of the road, I don't know them from Adam, I want to stop and help them out, or just see, hey, are you okay? Let them see what they tell me, and if they're good, then we'll chat for a minute and take off. You really see a lot of that, just waving at bikes as they go by. I know different parts of the world do that differently, but around here, it's, you wave at somebody, no matter what they're riding, they're usually going to wave back. And it's just that brotherhood that's really great about the community.